Anime has given us many stories about vampires. We have seen them portrayed in many ways, to the onslaught of Hellsing, to the weird and wonderful Bakemonogatari. Vampires have not only been in anime, but throughout movies, TV shows and books for centuries. When the word vampire is mentioned, who do you picture? Edward Cullen? Morbius?
It's Morbid time.
Count Dracula?
Faster, faster, it is so exciting. I could forever until I drop.
Who you did not picture were vampires from the anime series Vampire in the Garden. Before I go any further, please do hit the like button and subscribe for more anime videos. Netflix has now released the anime series Vampire in the Garden, which is a 5-episode series that is produced by which studio? This is an anime original, meaning there is no source material. That's right, this anime is not based on any manga or light novel. Do not let this put you off. There have been many successful anime original series that are seen as some of the greats, but is this anime worth a watch? Or is it just a flash in the pan? I am going to look at the series and tell you exactly what I thought of it. The story takes place in an all-out war in this dystopian world, where a small state occupied by humans are fighting against the dominant vampires. The plot revolves around the main character Momo, who is a young girl who wishes for a peaceful world where both humans and vampires exist side by side. She shares this view with the queen vampire Fine. They set out together to find somewhere where it is possible for humans and vampires to live in peace. Momo is a very young girl and because of this can be naive. This adds to her character. She is young and lost in a world full of war. It seems that this war has lasted decades, and because of this it seems a new generation grew up in this war and no one really knows what they're fighting for, but they just know the other side is the enemy. The pain and suffering that is witnessed so early on in the series is shown through Momo. The death that surrounds her from both sides, we see death, we see fear and brutality that such a young girl has to witness. Momo is someone who is not born for war and who rejects the world she lives in. On the other hand, we have Fine. She refuses to drink the blood of humans, which vampires crave so much. We see scenes of her struggling with this. The temptation of the nature of vampires is ever so strong, that even someone of her willpower struggles to restrain it. Both main characters go against those of their kind. A concept that has been used very often, perhaps not in a setting quite like this. Humans hate vampires. They are treated like they are beneath them. They say they live in nests when actually they live in mansions. By doing so, they kid themselves that they are a lesser species. They did not believe that vampires can be kind to humans, but when they show kindness, it is treated as an age-old tactic. In fact, Momo's kindness to the vampire Fine is seen as betrayal against the humans. They fully refuse that vampires can be seen as equals. It is very clearly a broad metaphor on war itself. In fact, I believe it is up to interpretation on how you see this. Not only is there a metaphor on how a lot of different sides in war see each other, but perhaps it could be a metaphor for race or nationalities. At this stage, there is no real understanding on either side why exactly they are fighting, other than the opposing side should be defeated. It has created this clueless cycle that the next generation are brought up only knowing that the other side is their enemy because they are different. It is a sad world filled with war that seems never ending and is being passed on from generation to generation. Strangely enough, however, in a way, the war is just the setting rather than the main focus of the story. The war never concludes in the 5-episode series. Whilst this world is filled with bloodshed, the world itself is portrayed beautifully. The quality of production is movie-like. We have such names as Tetsuya Nishio as the character designer, who has designed characters from such shows as Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex and Naruto. As well as this, the background visuals are gorgeous, and this is thanks to Kazuji Fuji, who has also done background art for shows such as Attack on Titan and Ranking of Kings. Just take a look at some of the scenes that I'm currently showing. Each background is a work of art. As there are such few episodes, what the visuals do so well is that they immerse the viewer. It creates such a world that becomes so real to the viewer so quickly. This is critical for a series of this length, as it helps to visualize and understand the world quicker because of this. We are shown lots of small details on just how drastic the world is around our characters. The story focuses mainly on the two characters, which balances nicely with how short the show is. Instead of giving more screen time to other characters that will make no character feel fleshed out, We focus on the journey of Momo and Fine. The supporting cast are treated more like minor characters that are used to demonstrate the feelings of the masses rather than become their self-contained character. The journey that the two characters go on is short and sweet, as you expect from a series of this length. It keeps it concise as a story within the war rather than a story about the war. However, I feel like it's also a hindrance. As whilst we immerse in this world, I find the story lacking substance, and the conclusion fell a bit flat. I felt a loose connection for these characters. I was never made to feel that their feelings were real. Rather, I was told these characters had these feelings. The story was basic and at times bland. Like I said, the main focus was the two leads, and everyone else, the viewer is just expected to accept the decisions of the characters. The lore behind the world seems mysterious, but I felt it was left this way as the 5 episodes given was not enough. I do truly think the creation of this world was done beautifully, and that perhaps given more episodes it could have been expanded and explained further, but the story still felt flat. The story somewhat suggests love between the two characters. It is not really explicitly defined on what type of love. Again, we are just told this. We have to accept, as a viewer, that the two strangers that are met from either side do love each other, and that over their journey of only 2 or 3 days, they have created this bond that is so strong it goes further than family. Whilst there are a couple of scenes that try to show this relationship between the two, it does seem odd, rushed, and forced on the viewers to accept not only do they want peace, they also have a strong loving bond between them. The use of music was interesting. To know that it's created by humans but admired and played by vampires creates this connection between the two, knowing that there could be appreciation between the two species, showing potential hope. As for the ending, and when I say ending, I do not mean the ending of the story. Rather, the anime basically has almost had a post-movie ending, where it fast forwards to the future just to show how wonderful the future would be. This was done, in my opinion, in bad taste. It basically tears away the hard work that was built creating this war-ridden world. It did not really achieve anything by doing this. Maybe it was meant to be longer and eventually this was the conclusion to be reached by having more episodes. I don't know. It is all just theories, but this part of the series did not go down well in my book. Overall, whilst it may sound like I really hate this show, I didn't. I think it may be worth watching, just for how beautiful the anime can be, to admire not only the world, the background, but also the music used. There was a lot of effort poured into this anime, but let down by the perhaps even below average storytelling. I would leave this up to you if you decide to watch it. After all, it is only 5 episodes. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.